Elie Wiesel, author of the book Night, 1986 Nobel Prize winner, and Holocaust survivor once said, "The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. The opposite of art is not ugliness, it's indifference. The opposite of faith is not heresy, it's indifference. And the opposite of life is not death, it's indifference." In these times where our country is no longer divided by the colors of black and white, but by the colors of red and blue, our voices of indifference should stand no longer. We are individuals, but we are also part of a larger community, and our actions affect each other. According to the Civic Responsibility in Higher Education, published in 2000 and edited by Thomas Ehrlich, visiting professor at the Stanford University of School of Education says, "A morally and civically responsible individual recognizes himself or herself as a member of a larger social fabric." He says we should consider social problems as being connected to us and take action for or against them. In 2012, I no longer claimed indifference. I made my voice heard along with 197 million others by voting. But there are other ways that we can become civically engaged. I also volunteer and I keep up with the current news. Our decision of indifference can have a negative impact on our community, and civic engagement is one of the many ways in which we can build a stronger community and a stronger country. First, I will speak to you all about becoming civically engaged through keeping up with the news, then by becoming politically involved, and lastly, by volunteering. But first, let's talk about information gathering as a civic engagement. To be civically engaged, we need to know about the issues that are being talked about by our community leaders, by politicians, and by other citizens. An easy way to do this is by keeping up with the news. According to a scholarly article published in the Journal of Political Communication in 2004, it is the role of the media to provide the information that enables the public to make relatively informed decisions about candidates, politicians, and issues. So pick up a newspaper, turn on the TV, look at the news tabs on Yahoo and Google, and pick out what interests you. Start reading. Now I know you may be thinking, I can't get interested in becoming interested. Well, I know how that feels, and let me tell you, it's difficult at first, but as you keep doing it, it should become a lot easier. A study published in Journalism and Mass Communication Quarterly on March 1st, 2001, found that the more you watch news on the television, the more strongly you feel about it being a civic duty that you need to keep up. Now, keeping up with the news is fairly easy, isn't it? Well, now I have another tip for you to become civically engaged that's just as easy, but requires just a bit more effort on your part. Now, becoming politically involved is really important, and it may seem daunting and intimidating, but there are ways to do this at your own pace and with no pressure. One of the ways to do this is by registering to vote. The only requirements are that you have to be a U.S. citizen, a California resident, and 18 years or older by the election time. Now, I know you've all seen people standing outside of the grocery stores or on campus asking you all, are you registered to vote? Well, if you're not, next time, stop pretending you're on that cell phone and sign up. Also, on the website sos.ca.gov, updated at the start of 2013, Secretary Deborah Bowen adds that you can also acquire the forms from a local library, a DMV, or a local post office. And the best thing is that there's no stamp needed. Then you can sign petitions. So petitions are simply a formal request that you get other citizens to sign in order to show that your request is echoed by others. In the official White House government website, updated on a daily basis, it gives you a list of possible petitions that you can sign, and it also even gives you a chance to make your own. So now that you've done all this, what's the next step? Well, sharing is caring, so share what you care about on Facebook. Facebook is a great way to voice your opinions and share with your friends. Studies such as social networks and political participation, the role of social interaction in explaining political participation. In the Political Research Quarterly Journal, written on December 1st, 2013 by Scott McClure, shows that becoming politically engaged is easier when political information is acquired through societal sources or community sources, such as social networks like Facebook. So when your friends post things, it makes you want to post things, and hopefully when you post what you care about, it'll go ahead and revert to your friends. So, now you know the simple things to becoming civically engaged, and the next step can be just as simple. Volunteering is a big and important step in your civic engagement. Now, a lot of communication scholars have recently coined the term slacktivist to describe our generation, because we tend to stop at Facebook when it comes to our civic engagement. Well, there's a way to prove them wrong, and this is by volunteering. In 2005, Executive Director of the Global Youth Action Network, Benjamin Quinto, told Georgetown Public Policy Review that volunteering allows you to make immediate impact in your community. If that's not enough for you, a 1999 study on public service published in Law and Contemporary Problems, sociologists John Wilson and Mark Music found that volunteering can also help you bring a number of benefits, just like making new connections that you can use for future jobs, or establishing a longer lifespan, or helping with your mental health. Now, you may not know where to start when it comes to volunteering, but let me help you with that. First, you can go on volunteermatch.org, input your personal information, and it'll match you with certain things that are available in your area. Or you can pay attention to newsletters and flyers around your area as well. I myself volunteer in a reading and writing nonprofit in my area, and I never would have heard of it if I hadn't picked up that newsletter. At first I was really overwhelmed and scared to start, but now I really love it and I make time for it at least once a week. So to wrap it up, we've discussed how being more civically engaged is something that we can all and should incorporate into our daily lives. In order to build a strong community and country, we must work against our decision of indifference and take initiative to become civically engaged. Remember, becoming civically engaged can be simple. You can watch news once a day or read about it. You can become politically involved in just a few easy steps, or you can start volunteering. Civic engagement is capable of transforming society, and our indifference is a disservice not only to our community, but also to ourselves. So it's time we take charge and stop being a generation of slacktivists. Thank you.